Oh damn, more Series 1 stuff. Arguably the most iconic SCP series, there are a lot of freaky things from 001 to 999. Naturally, it's a good entry point for folks new to SCP, and it sets up a lot for future entries. Although styles and tastes have changed with time, there's no doubt that it set the stage for all future entries. Plus, a great deal of the fan art, general discussion, and vague outsider knowledge of SCPs has to do with Series 1, so there's no avoiding it. Longtime users and skip scholars will insist that people become familiar with Series 1 and then move on to the more structured, meta world of the later series, but it seems like the earlier entries have a sort of magnetic pull on the minds of paranormal investigators. In fact, our most common requests for SCP lists are from Series 1. Like, it's crazy how often I have people tell me that I should do 682. You already know about 682, I already know about 682, your Aunt Tate knows all about 682. Let it be. They're iconic and wicked and a whole bunch of creepy fun, which is why we keep coming back to them. Although, full disclaimer, Lucy recently did a video with all sorts of Series 1 All-Stars, so I'll be avoiding those entries in today's videos. Check out her list after this one if you haven't already. Hello horror heads, and welcome back to the Scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm your horror host, Keegan Hughes, and today we're doubling down on our last triple-digit SCP video with the top 5 scariest monsters from Series 1, Part 2. Before we get started, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more chaotic content. Perfect. Let's begin. Starting us off at number 5, we have SCP-087. Stairwells have such great horror potential, eh? Spiraling ones can cause fleeing victims to experience vertigo, and ones that never end really open up a pit in your stomach. Also, stairs are cardio. Cardio is hard. So if you've ever experienced a scary staircase, then you know what's up with 087. This is an unlit platform staircase, and when you look at it, you're only going to be able to see about a flight and a half down. Everything else fades into inky darkness. How's that for fear of the unknown? If you're going to head down, you'll need a light source, and don't bother bringing an insanely powerful floodlight. Anything brighter than 75 watts gets absorbed through unknown means. Once a subject starts on their descent, they will hear cries from what sounds like a child. Please, help, please, help. Reports have claimed that the source is around 200 meters down, although attempts to rush down 200 meters haven't brought people any closer to the child. In fact, the depth of descent calculated on the longest exploration was way deeper than anyone thought possible. It goes down below the building, below the foundation, even below what was thought to be possible to build in the area. We're talking sub-bedrock here, and that is a deep staircase. At this point, nobody can even say with certainty if the staircase has an endpoint. And to make matters worse, there's an entity creeping and crawling around down there, known as 087-1. Every subject that head down has seen an instance of 087-1, which is a face with no visible pupils, nostrils, or mouth. Its nature is unclear, but it hasn't harmed anyone explicitly, and it's not the source of the pleading. Subjects report feelings of intense paranoia and fear, but researchers are unsure as to whether this is anomalous or just a natural reaction. After exploration 4, there was a knock at the door. Everybody walked the dinosaur. Sorry about that. Coming in at number 4, we have SCP-738. 638 is a set of 3 components, all pieces of mahogany furniture. There's a desk, a straight-backed chair, and a throne-style chair. If someone is to sit in the straight-backed chair, an entity will appear across from them in the fancier chair. Parchment and a quill with ink will be produced by this entity, and it will try to strike up a deal with the subject. The so-called devil will begin making offers and promises, and if the subject makes a request, a price will be given. This price can be bargained, but the entity insists on trades being of equal value, and if it's accepted, the wish will be fulfilled and the price paid automatically. Now, the price is supposed to be equivalent in pain to the amount that the subject desires their wish, but like all deals with devils, genies, etc., it usually results in a lot more pain than gain. A D-class subject was given freedom at the price of his best friend's life, and then recaptured within hours. The classic "be careful what you wish for" caveats all apply. Interestingly enough, this set of anomalous furniture was recovered from a Catholic cardinal's office after his death. It was initially a gift from the Pope. What kind of deals were these holy men cooking up? Goodness me. The devil in the chair will appear differently to everyone who sits before it and cannot be picked up on video. It could be someone you know, or a complete stranger. No matter what though, it's always charming, as a devil should be. Coming at number 3, we have SCP-023. I like the name of this one, the Shuck. It's fun to say, even if it reminds me of Happy Hour at the Oyster Bar. This is a large shaggy canine with black fur. At one point, it had glowing red eyes, but a researcher had them removed. Now they're constantly replaced with rubber inserts. The reason a researcher removed its eyes was that any individual who makes eye contact with it will either die or have a family member die exactly 1 year after breaking eye contact. It's seemingly random who dies based on this effect, but it will happen, guaranteed. An odd side effect of these deaths is that the corpses, while seemingly unharmed, are actually filled with highly compacted ash. Organ systems, circulatory systems, you name it. Ash. The victim's muscles, bones, and brain all show signs of exposure to high temperatures as well. If O23 is contained somewhere that does not resemble a crossroads, it will phase right out of there and to the nearest suitable location. Anything it phases through gets incinerated. So this dog phases, burns, and kills people down the road. Holy smokes. Get it? Smokes? Coming in at number 2, we have SCP-610. The flesh that hates, the Red Death. The Sarkic cult's greatest weapon. 610 is basically a meat disease that turns you into a shambling, unthinking mass of raw flesh. The warmer you are, the faster it spreads, and after the infection is completed, life functions will cease for about 3 minutes, but then they restart with an extremely high rate of activity. The victim's body will distort and their human features disappear. Scar tissue grows at a rapid rate and additional fleshy limbs will sprout from their body. Parts of the person may even split open with additional branches of flesh growing from the split. At some point they will root themselves and spread out over the surrounding area in order to kind of make a zone for further infections. Infected individuals will seek aid as an impulse, resulting in more infections. More disease meat for the disease meat god. Anyone who has developed past the scar tissue phase will attack and infect anyone approaching them. If they're still capable of sight, anyone they see is in danger, but after the meat takes over their optical capabilities, staying outside a range of around 30 meters is considered safe. This disease can infect entire settlements in rural areas very quickly, but will run out of things to infect over time. Currently, the Foundation has limited its spread to low population zones in Russia, but considers it neutralized if nothing's allowed out of the quarantines. However, as the Sarkic cults rev their engines for the war against Meccan, you better believe that some new instances might find their way to new areas. If you're infected, might as well just give in. You're part of something bigger now, and isn't that what everyone wants in the end? Finally, at number 1, we have SCP-049. And the number 1 everyone has been waiting for, the highly seeded upset from part 1, the Plague Doctor. This humanoid entity has the appearance of a medieval plague doctor. Thick robes, ceramic mask, bag full of barbarous medical tools, you know the deal. Its garments seem to have grown right out of its body, and as such are indistinguishable from whatever is beneath them. X-rays have shown that the good doctor does indeed have a humanoid skeleton, but nobody's sure of its origin. Usually this polyglot medical practitioner is quite nice and cooperative with the Foundation, but it can become especially irritated or aggressive if it finds itself in the presence of what it calls the pestilence. Nobody knows what this means exactly, but it is a huge deal to 049. He will attack and kill anyone who he deems to be affected by the pestilence. With a single touch, the Plague Doctor can cause all biological functions in an organism to cease. However, it will express frustration and remorse after killing someone, claiming that they haven't done enough to kill the pestilence. This can be appeased through crude surgery using implements from the doctor's bag. These procedures aren't always successful, but will often result in the creation of an instance of 049-2. These are reanimated corpses with basic motor skills and response mechanisms. They will most likely just shuffle around in a vegetative state unless provoked. 049 considers these zombies to be cured of all pestilence. These procedures can be performed on any living creature, but our broad-beaked friend prefers humans and human-like subjects. In fact, at one point he even took down a Foundation doctor and brought him back to life, pestilence-free. This, of course, was not very well received by other Foundation members who restricted 049's access to materials from then on. Probably doesn't sit too well with the doc, all that pestilence out there and no way to cure it. And that wraps up our second Series 1 celebration. What do you think? Any major Series 1 superstars I missed? Should they be covered in a Part 3? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. Speaking of comments, let's have a look at some of your more pristine ones from top 5 scary horror movies with terrible sequels, Part 2. Whiskey Brewer says, of course Jaws 4 paying for Michael Caine's house has to be on the list. I'm pretty sure that's just the main reason it got made. I'd like to have a visit someday, you know, see what kind of luxuries exploding a shark can afford you. Mephosto says, The Howling 2 is glorious. Fight me. I never said it wasn't glorious. In fact, I agree, but it's glorious like a tire fire, not like a work of art. Shala777 says, I didn't even know about some of these sequels. And now, you know to avoid them. Unless you're really into the bad stuff. No judgment. Dutchy says, I'd prefer watching these videos rather than watching terrible horror movie sequels. You'll save a lot of time that way too. And James Cummings says, you gotta feel for Michael getting shocked here. I mean, do you though? He's doled out a lot more hurt than that 10 times over. Plus, who knows if he even feels pain like us? He certainly doesn't seem to. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. At this point, nobody can even say with certainty.